Hello everyone, today I will present about food and wine pairing, which is grilled ribeye steak served with vegetable and a red wine pairing, which is Cabernet Sauvignon. To begin with, according to June et al. 2000, in Australia and New Zealand, ribeye, sometimes called the Scot fillet, is a boneless beef steak taken from the rib portion. And how to prepare this steak? Before grilling the steak for about 20 minutes, remove the steak from the fridge and let them sit harder at the room temperature. Heat the grill to high. Brush the steak on both sides with oil and season liberally with salt and pepper. Place the steak on the grill and cook until golden brown and slightly charred for 5 minutes. Turn the steak over and continue to grill 3 to 5 minutes for medium rare, 5 to 7 minutes for medium, and 8 to 10 minutes for the medium well. Transfer the steak to the cutting board or platter, pan loosely with foil and rest for 5 minutes before slicing. As we all know, steak is very flavorful and bold entree. You should pair it with a very flavorful and full-body wine. Just like the other food, we want to balance the flavor of the food and the wine so they complement one another. So what does that mean? For example, if you have a steak that have pepper on it, you may want to serve a wine that have peppery flavor to it, or you maybe want to select a wine that have more fruity and that will balance the peppery taste of the steak. In order to meet the flavorfulness of the meat, you need a wine that fulfills the characteristic. So you want to find a wine that is high in tannin. According to NEL 2018, tannin are a bitter taste that leave our mouth dry after each sip, and it also the part of wine that clean your palate between each bite, which is the reason why wine with high tannin level is so popular to pair with steak. The high tannin level softens the fat in the meat and cut through the juice in it. Cabernet is typical full-body, dry red wine with a hint of earthy note, oaky note, and aging note, which are the most suitable for steaks. According to Carpenter 2016, the origin of Cabernet Sauvignon was unknown until 1996, when a group of wine researchers at UC Davis discovered the origin of the variety of grapes. In the southwest of France, in the 17th century, a red Cabernet Franc grape plant and a Sauvignon Blanc grape plant accidentally bred, creating the birth of the most widespread grape throughout the world. According to MW 2004, before this discovery, this origin has been suspected from the similarity of the grape name and the fact that Cabernet Sauvignon shares similar aromas with both grapes such as the blackcurrant and pencilbox aromas of Cabernet Franc and the grassiness of Sauvignon Blanc. According to Juche et al. 2017, the winemaker and vineyard manager work together to choose the optimal time to harvest the grape, which are often picked at night or early in the morning, so they will still be cool when arrive at the winery, so that only the most delicate fruit is turned into wine. Grapes are usually hand-sorted both before and after entering the destemming machine to ensure that all non-material is removed. According to Selesky et al. 2018, a wide variety of winemaking techniques may be used, but all red wines are made by fermenting juice with grape skin. which contain the pigment that produce a red wine, red as well as tannin and flavor compounds. Each winemaker decides whether to ferment the juice in stainless steel concrete or even large wooden tanks. Winemakers determine how to extract the tannin from the skin during the fermentation process. Tannin give the wine a sense of astringency and are a significant part of the wine structure. The skin rises to the surface as the wine ferments, creating a cap to maintain contact between the juice and the cap. Some use a series of punch down to push the skin forwards. Other winemakers use pump over to run the juice over the skin. Once the winemaker had decided that it's time for the juice and the skin to part ways, the wine is pressed. At this time, the wine is transferred to oak barrels, where it will spend the next 6 months to 3 years aging the age and type of oak used in part of many subtle flavors in the final wines, and while aging tannin soften and the flavor of the wine, and the oak blend to create something more than sum of the part. After aging, multiple wines are brought together to create a single blend. The wine is then bottled and sometimes allowed to age even longer in that bottle before being sold. There are 3 very famous places for this wine in the world, which are Bordeaux, France, Napa Valley, California, USA, the Super Tuscan of Italy. France is often considered the home of Cabernet. Cabernet from this French region is generally known to be medium to full body, with tart, blackcurrant, and violet note, and a hint of cedar and cigar, both from French oak aging. The best wines are first grow, known as premier crust, which are very expensive. However, for more affordable Bordeaux option, try the well-reviewed 2012 Chateau Grand Valley Bordeaux Superior for about $24. Additionally, Napa Valley Cabernet is often rich in character, full of bright black fruit notes, plus with vanilla and chocolate flavors from aging in American oak. The recent warmer climate means that California's Cabernet often taste bigger than those from other parts of the world. Screaming Eagle may be the most famous of Napa Valley. First, we can use Cabernet Sauvignon for cooking. It's the ultimate cooking wine. Make a red wine pan sauce to accompany a juicy steak. Break some short rib in the entire bottle, simming a rich bolognese, or even bake chocolate and Cabernet Sauvignon Italian cake. Also, we can make cocktail from Cabernet Sauvignon when mixing it with other spirits. For example, big apple sour, carnivore, swizzle, blood and tannin, etc. When you serve the Cabernet Sauvignon, please remember that you have chosen the right glass performing in the right temperature and decanting the wine. Cabernet is best served in the glass with a larger bowl for maximum air exposure. The ideal serving temperature is 16 degrees Celsius. Although the wine flavor will present well anywhere between 15 to 18 degrees Celsius. Also, you will need some tools when you serve Cabernet Sauvignon, like a wine opener, decanter, aerator, wine stopper, wine preserver, placing close. In the future, when I own placement, I will use my new knowledge of choosing food and drink as I will advise my client on how to pair the wine with each different food. Also, I will try to make some cocktail from Cabernet Sauvignon for customer. Furthermore, I can introduce them to some different type of Cabernet and some notable brands that they should try. Finally, I will know how to decant the wine, choose the right glass, and serve at the right temperature for my clients. Thank you. That's the end of my presentation today. Thank you. Cheers.